EA Sports. It's in the game. He tucked that ball away, lowered his head, and boom, end zone.
We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 and the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway in Southern California. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. Now, first carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Carr. Got a man open, it's Darren Waller. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. Throwing on first down is Carr. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
Now here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler, and he'll work down inside the 45.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 44, Herbert. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
And now the kick short, but this is a live football picked up in the end zone. He's past the 30, and he will be out of bounds. So a clever idea on the run back, but the field goal unit able to stop him before he could really get going. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Khalil Mack had just 6 sacks in 7 games in 2021 due to a foot injury. Now he's in Los Angeles with the Chargers, and they believe they have themselves the best 1-2 combo in football, with he and Joey Bosa coming off the edge.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long.
We call a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He'll get this in, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Raiders pick it up. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan, but this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
A first down for Davante Adams in his first season with the Las Vegas Raiders. Over the previous 2 years in Green Bay, he led the NFL in receptions and touchdowns, and he's building off of a 123-catch, 1,500-yard season.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 15. The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate. Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Herbert on first down now. And the Raiders have got him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Herbert. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10 to the 27-yard line. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
We're scoreless after 1. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now the 4th-round pick out of Georgia, Zamir White. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that earns them a fresh set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board for a CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Herbert rolling to his right. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Duron Harmon.
Herbert's pass intercepted by the Raiders.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to put those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-to-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Fans, a reminder, coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for highlights and analysis and scores from around the NFL here in this opening weekend.
Let's put the coach to work.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Chargers first down.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. That's again complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. That's caught inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Hunter Renfrow, 49 yards. And the Raiders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0.
Chargers, nothing.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need it. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Charger drive about to get going. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
On second down, Eckler. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Herbert. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Eckler now between the tackles. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Play action. It's Herbert. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. That catch for his career is number 731. And that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jayon Brown. The 20.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Raiders take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And he he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And no chance to get away as they get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now 2nd and 6.
Once more, here's Eckler. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Austin Eckler, the ball carrier. Brought down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 2.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Herbert on third down now. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts. And
look at this. It's a fake. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Well, sometimes the fake punts work out. They're fun, and you're so smart for doing it. And sometimes, Charles, what happens is an epic fail, and what we just saw was an epic fail.
And you're right about that, because the key here is the element of surprise. You have to catch a defense completely unaware that this might happen, this might occur. Unfortunately, somehow they tipped it off, or they were just well coached and on their toes.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. Side, they're going to go option here. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And some room to roam now. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Jacobs going to try the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They run straight ahead here with White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Zamir White with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Raiders are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
Oh,
and you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this. And now here is another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Once again, it's Jacobs. Shoves him aside. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Now for the point after. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Las Vegas, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener.